Welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat Podcast, y'all. I am your host, JoJo.
And I'm Tyra.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I really try not to scream on here. Yo, fun fact, right? You want to know what we just learned? Tell them, babe. We just did it. We were just making a TikTok before recording this.
Oh.
She freaked me out.
You can post pictures on TikTok now.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I literally just took a picture with her and I just posted it. So we'll see.
TikTok just said, you know what? Fuck y'all ban.
Right.
I'm going to put all these features on here before y'all shut it down.
Right.
That's crazy. That's actually pretty litty.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so what's the juice? Come on, holla at me.
I like your shirt.
Thank you.
Very cute.
I got this from Boohoo.
Mm.
You know, for everybody that's always asking what I'm wearing, I'm a gatekeep.
Why?
I'm kidding. I'm talking shit. No, I really do get asked all the time what I'm wearing, and it's not me gatekeeping or being ignorant by not answering your comments. It just be a lot, especially in my TikTok. Like people always ask me what I'm wearing. I get all my shit from Boohoo, y'all.
They should sponsor you.
They should. They should, because sometimes they be getting a little pricey with their little shipping.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Boohoo, Boohoo, whatever.
I think it's Boohoo.
I think it is too. Anyway, I've been shopping at Boohoo for years now, and that's literally where I get all my stuff, and it's fairly affordable. Sometimes the material I feel like is a hit or miss, but most of the quality is pretty good. It's kind of like a Shein. It's kind of like a Shein.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, but Shein, it's not giving for me.
Shein. I love Shein.
Anyway, thank you. You look cute too. Tell me, what are you wearing?
I got this from Amazon.
Okay, Kim Kardashian. That's what you're giving. You're giving a Kardashian right now.
I got this for free.
At least somebody's getting something for free.
But okay, so what's new? What's new? Okay, so May 13th in Brooklyn, we're gonna go to Preciosa Night. I don't know if we've said it on the podcast yet, but we are letting you know now so you can get your tickets and plan in advance. Yeah, have a whole month to prepare. But yeah, it's gonna be like a LGBTQ party being hosted by Eden and Jay, who were on our podcast before. And yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I just love being in not that it's gonna be like this gay atmosphere, but yeah,
it is gonna be a gay atmosphere.
But I don't want to make it seem like it's just like I don't know, but I love being in gay
and it's
spaces.
Gonna be in Brooklyn, and it's very a lot of POC people are gonna be there.
Yeah, so that'll be nice too.
Yeah, I think they might have some performers. I don't know, but they have a lot of parties mainly in LA, and now they're gonna do one in Brooklyn. So yeah,
they be Cali living. So if you around there, you should definitely check them out.
Yeah.
But this will be the first. Well, I don't want to say the first, but this will be our first time actually attending, and they're doing it out.
In Brooklyn.
Yeah. Anyway, so so go get your tickets, and we'll see you there. We coming with the squad.
Yeah, we're coming with a lot of people.
Coming with all the bad shorties.
There's also a dress code. Like when you buy your ticket, they send you an email and they're saying to wear pink, orange, white, basically the lesbian colors. But I'm sure you could wear whatever you want. But yeah, can't wait to see you guys there. I already know some people are gonna be there, so I'm excited.
Yes. So a conversation came up the other day. And
I was like, I have to bring it up to the podcast because I just thought it was crazy.
Was it Travis and Steph that?
No. I was listening to this podcast by Horrible Decisions, and they were talking about something that was talked about in this other podcast called Rory and Mal. But basically, there's this basically event going around in Atlanta, pretty much, where they're having rose parties. And when you think about it, you're like, oh, I don't know, a party with a bunch of roses or a brunch. It's just giving spring,
I mean, me, when I now I automatically think of Rosie when I think of rose.
So it's rose party as in the rose, the
sex toy,
the toy that we talked about before that they should sponsor us by now. But pretty much, women are getting together. And they're using the rose in front of each other in a party. So it's like a bunch of girls. So like they're all like in a circle apparently.
So
And
it's kind of giving like a sex party.
yeah.
Okay.
And it gets even crazier because it says that um basically people want to see like how long you can use the vibrator before you get an orgasm, and apparently the last person to get one, everybody has to eat them out. Uh-huh.
Good for you. Good for you. Sounds like a boatload of pleasure
Se
and fun.
pasan. And apparently like people are getting tested to go to this, so like
Oh
people,
wow.
yeah,
At
yeah, it's like
least
a whole
it's
thing.
right. At least it's like a
They're practicing
safe.
safe sex.
Yeah.
Who knows? But Google, like, look it up on TikTok because it's going around a lot on TikTok. And some people are like totally against that. And some people are like really down with that. Like, if you read the comments. And I just want to know, are these straight people or gay people doing this? Because I feel like the straights are doing this.
No, because you know what's really crazy is when I seen the TikTok where it was like all the reactions, like them being funny, and it was all like guys like, what the fuck, dirty, like talking shit. I was just like, wow. So like that really makes me think: are guys nastier than women, or are women actually like?
You know what's?
I don't want to say nasty as in like dirty or nothing, but I'm saying like there's this idea that guys are like the freaky ones and want all the nasty shit, but I feel like when it actually comes down to the nasty shit, they really not ready for it. And I feel like when women show that something like that, and they're like, what the like what are y'all what are y'all doing?
No, but I've heard stories about like guys getting together and jerking off.
I
So
believe
why are they surprised? They do the same shit. This is gay behavior. Like I don't want to hear any. Like this is all gay behavior. Everyone who's like doing this is giving gay.
Oh, like this Rosie thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Am I crazy? Like
no. All right. So like I feel like it's a harder thing.
It's like a sex party, but then it's like the aspect that you have to eat somebody out. Are they considered a winner? I mean, why are they considered a loser?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, is the last person to orgasm considered a winner or a loser?
Well, doesn't it say that they're a winner?
I don't know. I feel like you could cheat with that. Like the whole thing is just interesting.
I don't know, but shout out to them. At least they're, putting good use to Rosie. That's a grand old time. That's how you throw a party.
Yeah, if you want to look up the person who's hosting these parties, I have their TikTok name. They're called Temptress Medusa. So that's spelled TEMPTRESS Medusa.
Oh, you got the whole shebang.
The whole thing.
That's cool though.
And they wear like lingerie and stuff. Mad cute.
It's a legit occasion.
Yikes! What the world is coming to.
Hey, embrace your shit. You know? Ain't nobody judging. It's a little crazy at times when you think about it, when you first hear it. But if it's for you, it's for you. Anyway, you got anything else you want to share before we?
No, that was pretty. Those were my updates for the week.
Word. Anyway, you look cute, by the way. Again, if I didn't say it the first time.
Me.
No, I'm dead ass, but like.
Thanks.
Okay, I had to match her energy, y'all, because remember last episode, I felt like I was talking ish. She was like, well, this is like a big deal. This is like an event. So I gotta be cute. So I had to step my game up.
Oh my lordy.
I even brought the guns out. So nah, let me stop. All right, so I wanted to get into adult relationships, right? I feel like, well, at least for me, I don't know about you, but growing up, I feel like we had so many people surround us, whether it was, our closest family, friends of the family. I felt like other than growing up with all the kids within the family, there was always, like, my parents always had, like, their own entertainment, their own social relations going on. Yeah. Whether, it being just people coming over, family birthday parties, barbecues, beach days, like literally for anything. Like literally like for anything. My parents would always have like, friends over and family over. And I feel like the older we're getting, we're kind of getting away from that. I don't know if like I wonder if my parents felt that way. I mean, I feel like now,
Felt like what?
like the older they were getting, the less
Things were
time
happening.
they had to socialize or like be friends or have all those things. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I said, growing up, I feel like there was so much of that you don't see that now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's just when you're kids, you think like, I don't know. You know how you think when you're a kid. You think like everything is just so much more than what it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the older that I'm getting, I'm realizing like, wow, what happened to that? Was that just because I was a kid? It seemed so big. It seemed
Mm-hmm.
so. Um, but yeah, do you feel like it was like that for you? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like things used to be bigger when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like I feel like more people were at parties, more you had more people like during Thanksgiving. Like it was like we would all come together, but I think that divorce plays a huge part in that. And
Yeah.
people get divorced, then they start doing separate things and then that's it.
Yeah, separation's
It's like
really
so
killed it.
weird.
But I think you and
Mm-hmm.
your family still do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Keeping, especially for your
It
sister's
just
kids.
a lot of things changed when my cousin and his wife got divorced. And we were like really cool with them. We would have really big parties, and I feel like things just went downhill. But what can you do?
You can't force people to come together, but I just feel like now, like as we're getting older, this is our time to like. I mean, granted, we don't have any kids, so I guess we don't have to keep that sense of like,
Traditions or
yeah,
yeah.
around because we don't have the kids. But I also feel like it'd be nice to keep that or continue and grow that type of environment so that when we not only just for ourselves but eventually when we do have kids we do have that for when they're growing up. Honestly, I think like the kids now in my family, they're like they were from being together all the time to now like we're low-key growing apart.
That's sad.
And it's very sad because I'm like, wow, like they kind of didn't in the beginning of their years they grew up how we did in terms of always having these family functions, and now that like you said, separation plays a part, but also loss of family members play a part too. I think with my mom's side of family, losing family members, slowly but surely when the family's already so small, it kind of just has distance,
Yeah.
us in a way.
I mean,
So-
yeah, and also to tie that in with like LGBTQ relationships and friendships, like things change when you come out.
Yeah.
People be saying like, oh no, like I still love you, like you're still the same person. But I do feel like once it gets to a serious level where you have a partner that you live with,
They don't want to see it.
and you're like,
They don't wanna be
getting
around
married
it.
or having kids, then like things get a little bit weird. People start being a little bit more distant. And unfortunately, some family members just don't support it. So it's like they just don't get it, they don't support it, or they're just around but they're being fake, and then behind your back they're talking shit, and it's unfortunate, but it's the reality of being gay and coming out to your family, to your friends. Like sometimes things change.
Yeah. It's actually a little crazy.
We were reading an article by like the New York Times, and it talked about like how many friends do you really need?
100. I'm kidding.
So how many close friends do you think you have?
Um,
She has so many.
they
It's
always say this. I have
incredible.
so many. I don't know. I would think it's well under close to 10.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a big number.
I mean, yeah, that's fairly big,
Yeah.
but
Close friends, that's a pretty big number.
I mean, I think yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I would say like 4.
But I think that is different. It's weird because I feel like I didn't grow up with that many friends. Like I grew up with associates, people I would see in school or like at work, but I'm that type of person that I'm a little bit weird on who I can hang out with outside of certain environments because I feel like if I have to like entertain you or I really feel like I have to just pretty much entertain you. Like if I'm hosting something and like I just feel like you have to be entertained at all times. I don't usually like to be in charge of entertaining people. And
See, that's why I say that my close friends are like four because I feel like there's no entertainment
right.
needed.
So when you have like people that you don't necessarily need to entertain, you're comfortable with, we could sit down and shoot the
Yeah.
shits, chill
Uh-huh.
in the crib, and that's no problem.
Yeah.
That's that's what I like.
Yeah.
Now, I think there's a difference obviously between people you can go out with. You know, I have those friends and
Hmm.
then I have friends that I could just literally sit down and shoot the shit with.
Yeah.
And yes, it tends to be a little bit more than others, but I don't know.
I feel like I was seeing a lot of videos on TikTok talking about this, but like, do you separate your friend groups when it comes to birthdays and celebrations and things like that?
I really don't like to.
I don't like to either. I feel like as someone who like it's your birthday, right? Like you want to chill.
Yeah.
You don't want to be stressed. You don't even want to be hosting, but you want to celebrate.
Right.
And I feel like having to do separate things for separate friends, I just feel like it's
It's
extra.
too much.
At the end of the day, either y'all gonna be cool or y'all not gonna be cool. But I'm not worried about it. And maybe it's because my friend group is kind of smaller, so I don't gotta worry about too much. But like I feel like usually for my birthday I go on vacation, but if I was doing like a dinner or something like that, y'all all invited. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna do separate. It's just too much. But that's me because I'm a little bit more low maintenance. But I know there's people that are high maintenance, and I've definitely been one of those friends where it's like, oh, you didn't invite me. Oh, then we're not cool.
Oh, you've been one of those friends?
So I was cool with this girl. She's probably never gonna listen to this, and if she does, I really don't care. So things changed when I came out, but it was like slowly but surely it was like a separation. It was like one thing would happen and then another thing would happen. It was like okay, but basically so they were having a birthday party, and I've hung out with her friends before. Like they're Dominican, Puerto Rican. Like there's no awkwardness at all. We would go to a lot of college parties together too. Like I would go to her college. We would be like bar hopping. All these things were her friends. So it was her birthday, and I remember me and my friend at the time, we weren't aware of it. And I think I had gone away that weekend to like a conference for work. So for me, I wasn't that hurt because I was like, well, I couldn't go anyway. But my friend who was in town hit her up like, yo, let me know if you're still gonna have like the brunch or whatever. Cause she was giving her like bullshit and talking about, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do it yet. Then she saw like a Instagram story, and the girl was like getting ready to go out, or she was already out. And then my friend had hit her up again, like, yo, I told you that I was down, like, let me know. And last minute, she was just like, oh, my bad, like, I totally forgot to invite you. How you forget to invite her when she kept asking you, yo, what's the plans for your birthday? Like, I'm down to go. Like, my friend at the time was like really like insistent on like I'll be
Going,
there.
yeah.
If you're gonna do it, let me know and then I'll be there.
That's such
And
bullshit.
then she hit her with the, oh, I forgot. How you forget to invite your best friend, your so-called best friend?
Nah.
So for me at that point, I wasn't hurt, but I was just like, that's corny. Like I didn't like that she did that to her because I'm like, she would have done the same shit to me. And then we were started thinking like maybe she just didn't want us there, didn't want you there because of the whole mixing of friends. But like I said, we had chilled with her friends before.
Yeah, so it
Like
came off weird.
like we're from the same background. We talk Spanish.
You know
Like
what I think it was?
what?
It was because y'all were the two better looking friends.
Oh, here we go.
So they were like, nah, I don't want you to come steal my shine.
But
They probably had a little something, somebody that was trying to see what's up with, and probably,
but
people be
that
a little bit insecure when they
they
see.
do, but I feel like that's corny because I'm never the type of friend to make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like when you bring me around your friends, I feel like I can be anywhere.
Yeah.
I can be around white people. I can be around Latinos. I can be around black people. Like I'm gonna talk regardless. I'm not gonna be this awkward person just standing around. Like I'm talkative. I'm fun. I like to drink. Like I be down. I be down. So it's like for you to act like I was gonna be like oddball or some weird shit like that. Like I thought that was corny. So like that's when I was really like, I'm cutting this girl off because she'd be weird with it. And like little things like that would happen all the time.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm conflicted when people say like, oh, like mixing your friend groups. And I think that also relates to LGBTQ stuff too, because have you ever brought like your straight friends to like a gay club?
Yeah.
I feel like your friends are okay with that. Like your friends are pretty comfortable with it. They're not awkward. Not all people are like that though. Like people get weird, and sometimes people want to go to gay clubs as like if it's something fun, like for their bachelorette party and things like that. Like they just think it's like a fucking zoo in there. Like I don't know what they
Oh,
think
not
it
a
is,
zoo.
but
Yeah.
that's like on their bucket list type shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they
But
think it's something exotic or something. Like,
yeah,
what?
yeah, like
No, bitch, we just not have a good time.
right. But it's like when you are the only gay friend and you want to go to these gay bars and gay clubs, it's awkward because it's like if your friends aren't down with it, it's like you kind of have to force them to go with you, and then
It's weird.
it's like awkward. Like it's like you
Yeah.
just want to be around people who are comfortable with
Yeah.
this lifestyle in quotations,
Mhm.
this lifestyle. But then when you as a gay friend, you go to straight clubs, you're just there like with your arms crossed because it's just not the vibe. Why is it not the vibe? Because men are weird. When I go to the straight club every time, like these men don't fail to like be weird with the whole like trying hard to like talk to me, and then I'm like I'm not interested, or like oh I have a girlfriend, and they don't seem to understand that either. And the whole touching your waist when they gotta walk by you, why? You can't just walk. You got like why you gotta touch me to do that? So it's like going to straight places is not it sometimes. I have no problem with it, but at the same time, it's just annoying to have to always go to straight places. Like I remember with my best friend, we're both gay, and he was just so tired of always having to go to straight places. He was like, "How come people just don't come in gay places with me?" I'm like, "I could go with you, but I don't know about everybody else."
Were you doing that before you came out though, or like?
Not a lot though. I
Hmm.
wasn't really,
Why?
because then people know that you're gay, or you could just be a straight person in
I
there.
feel like it's easier for. I don't want to say it's easier, but I would think that most people don't think much as a female when you go to like queer spaces or gay spaces
Yeah,
as to when you're going with like as a guy. So
yeah,
I would think like if you guys were going for you,
uh-huh,
they would assume more that he's the gay one
yeah,
and you're just the straight girlfriend coming to have fun with
yeah.
him.
Well, I guess I just didn't do much because they didn't have a lot of places by my college, so it was like
So where'd y'all go?
to a straight bar
Oh,
nearby.
oh, okay.
Or like we would go to a lot of places like in North Jersey, but like there's like one place in North Jersey, but I don't think that shit was open back in the day when I was going out a lot. 626.
Oh,
That's
I still
the
want to go there.
that's like the only gay club right now in North Jersey.
I
Unless there's
still
more,
want to go
keep me
there.
updated because I'm confused.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how would you say, I guess for you is different, but how would you say that your friends have changed? Your friend group has changed since coming out?
I don't think it did
I
change.
don't think so either.
I
You've
don't
always
think
had gay
I
friends.
feel like no, okay, so I think prior to the last couple years, my
Mm-hmm.
friend group was truly small. It was like unless you were family, I really only had like maybe 3 friends.
Mm-hmm.
Twin has always been there
Mm-hmm.
for years, so and at this point I don't count her as my best friend. She's literally just family.
Yeah.
Like she's pretty much my sister. Um and I feel like all the friends that I have now didn't come till years later.
Mm-hmm.
So it was whatever when I was younger.
Yeah.
I think roughly when I turned about 22,
Mm-hmm.
at that point I was already pretty much like out. I was already doing, living my gay best life. So I think it wasn't weird. Like most of my friends were like, yeah, like JoJo, wherever you going, we going because you're fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just fuck with my energy and my vibe. So I think, um, I like I didn't give them weird energy, and I was
Mm-hmm.
always down. Like, okay, we're gonna go to straight club or whatever. I mean, it really doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
um, as long as we had a good time.
Yeah.
But I don't think like they were ever weird about it. I think there was a few that just wouldn't. I don't see in the gay spaces.
Yeah.
Um, and then there's some that's like, yeah, I want to go. Like, it don't matter. But I also
Yeah.
think that comes from being around gay people, having those gay friends, having
Mm-hmm.
those gay family members, or like in question yourself,
Right.
that you're like, oh, I can do that. Like, I'm not uncomfortable in these spaces because I'm not uncomfortable with the person
Right.
I'm going with,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So I think maybe if you didn't, like for your friend, if your friend wasn't around people like that, or it just wasn't, they didn't want to see him a certain type of way because they had never
Mm-hmm.
hung out with someone who's gay, like,
Yeah.
okay, I mean, it's really no different. I come out to have fun like you too. Like, I don't need you to be gay with me. I just
Yeah.
want you to accompany me. You
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm. I feel like sometimes they just feel pressured. Like, I don't know, like,
Pressured for to do what? Gay
so
activity?
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like one time I did go to 626 with a friend, and like this girl was trying to holler at her. She was like entertaining her, but then I was like, "Are you like really down with this?" And she was like, "No, I'm scared." I'm like, "What the fuck are you scared about?" Just be like, "No, I'm not interested."
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird to have to like what you call it, deny people, or how do
But
you
then I
say
feel
it?
like you like reject them.
Reject them.
I feel
Yes.
like it would be weird if you, not weird, but I'm saying then that
Uh-huh.
it should be like that with everyone you don't want. Not
Right.
just
Right. Right.
a female because I
Right.
came into a queer space and now I
Mm-hmm.
got some female hollering at me
Yeah.
even though I'm not gay. Like,
But sometimes they just love the fact that there's a straight girl
I,
there.
yeah. But I think that that's more flattering anyway. If I
Mm-hmm.
was straight and some gay woman came up to me and she was pretty, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I don't think that it affected
Mm-hmm.
me or my friendships being gay. I think if anything, like
Yeah.
I've been my truest self, if
Mm-hmm.
more than anything. Honestly, I hate to say it, but I think I've had more of a hard time being in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
not like being gay. I think some of my friendships have been like because I'm in a relationship now and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
the single person that they were used to for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where some
Yeah.
things come into play.
Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, I feel like we're not that couple that's like attached at the hip.
Yeah.
So when I hear shit like that, I'm like, it's weird because it's like we're not. Like, there's a lot of times where you go out with your friends and I stay home or I do my own thing. Like, I have no problem with you going out with your friends and chilling at all. So I find it weird. It's like, what more do you want?
Mm-hmm. I think it's just I don't know, just the individual that I've become.
Yeah, I know. I get that. I think everybody changes when they're in a relationship because
Yeah.
my friends in the past have told me that too. Like, oh, like I like single Dyra. Right.
I
Why?
like
Because
single
now we're
dad.
going out and drinking all the time.
I think it's just the thought of you being boundaryless to an extent. Like you're down for the shit,
Yeah,
no
you're
matter
like
what
down
it
for
is.
whatever.
Yeah, you're
You
just
don't
like
gotta
I'm with
double
it.
check. And
Yeah,
not that we gotta double check with each other,
we
but
have to
like
be considerate.
we have to be considerate. Like, this podcast also takes a lot of our time. It takes a lot of our weekends. We have two dogs. Like, like, I don't know. You're not just this free person.
Yeah, yeah. You
Hmm.
can't just be like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like before, I used to do that. I'd be like, Mom, I'm out.
I'm
I'll see
leaving.
you in the
Bye.
morning or
Bye.
something. Like,
Like, in the
yeah,
morning.
I would be just
My
hitting
mom would
motherfuckers
never.
up. Like, what we doing? Like, I'm gonna just come over. Like, I used to just go over to my
Yeah.
friend's house and just to be out the crib.
Yeah.
And like now, it's not that I don't want to come over. It's just like
But it's
we all
also
got shit to
different when you
do.
have your own house.
Yeah.
Like, it's like when you have your own space, not just a house, like your own space. Like, I don't know, we make it comfy where it's like we want to be here. We
Mm-hmm.
don't want to leave. Like, it's like we pay rent. We're going to stay here and enjoy our time at home.
But we're also always down to have people over.
Yeah, that too.
You know.
For me, I feel like my friend group hasn't changed as much before coming out, but it's definitely made like a big turn.
Mm-hmm.
And people, I don't know, like, I don't think it was because of me coming out. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, I don't know. But I think it was just like a lot of things. Just as you grow up, you just have different values and different morals. And I feel like with me and some people, we just couldn't seem to see eye to eye with a lot of things. And I was like, I really don't need this type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like friendship should be easy and it shouldn't be like a debate about certain things. And I did feel like certain friends, when certain things would pop up, there was so much commotion and debates going on during the pandemic, before, after the pandemic, like with Black Lives Matter and the vaccine and all this crazy shit. I feel like the tension was high. That's like people were on opposite ends, and that's why I feel like I just disconnected from a lot of people. Um, but I do think that the pandemic in general changed a lot of things for friendships.
Yeah.
Like in the article that I was reading, it was saying that a professor of psychology and neuroscience at a university in Utah concluded that loneliness is as harmful to physical health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And during the pandemic, a lot of
A lot
people
of people
felt
are alone.
lonely
Yeah.
because you couldn't see anybody. And if you lived alone, imagine that. And if you live like worked from home, then imagine that.
So it was crazy because when COVID had just started, that was around the time my mom had cancer. And
Hmm.
at that point, we were all living in the house. I lived there. My younger brother lives
Hmm.
there. My older brother was living there. And I mean, I was really the only one leaving the house most of the time because I was the only one who like had a job. Like
Like you
that I
were like
had
an
to,
essential worker.
yeah.
Hmm.
So I was in and out all the time, and I was scared because I was like, damn, like my mom's not at her best right now. So
Hmm.
it really would scare me that I would come back with that, and it was crazy because me and her actually both end up having it.
COVID?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
both ended up. Um, I woke up one day and I couldn't taste shit, and I was like, no. So me and her ended up getting a test, and we both came back
But
positive. But it was crazy because
she
she
had
had no
no
symptoms.
symptoms.
Yeah, and I was like shook because I was like, there's four of us that live in this house. How the hell? And I think me and her got it the day we went to Walmart to go get her damn prescriptions.
You took her to Walmart?
I didn't take her; she wanted to go.
Oh.
So yes.
Hmm.
But I think I blame Walmart. We both got it there and she didn't have any symptoms luckily. But I ended up like quarantining in my room and I was like losing my shit. I was like FaceTiming her because I was just so bored. And like it didn't matter how much what you had, TikTok all day, and eventually I walked out the room. I
Hmm.
gave it like a day or two and I was like, yeah, I'm coming down because this is bullshit. I'm not the only one. There's no way I'm the only one that has it. I was like, she already tested positive, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I do think like I can't imagine people who literally through that time was alone
Hmm.
for
Right.
a long period of time.
And because of that, a lot of people lost like connection and friendship because of the pandemic.
Yeah. I think even after the pandemic, a lot of people kind of just shied away from the outside world.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't outside for like almost a year.
Yeah.
Like it became awkward to even be around people.
Mm-hmm.
It was like we were getting anxiety just the fact of being around so many people without a mask and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. Like it was just like a weird time where it was like we were a little bit socially awkward too. And it's like you want to chill with friends, but you didn't know how to ask that. And it's like, are you vaccinated? Are
Oh
you
yeah, that's
okay?
the other
You
thing.
tested? Like it's just too much.
Yeah, it's like for
Uh-huh.
those who really it really mattered to them, it was just
Yeah.
like, how do you ask this question
And
now?
then that
Like,
also broke up a lot of friendships because some
yeah, because
people
some people
didn't
believed
take
and
it
some
as
people,
serious. Some people, so it's like whatever you think, whatever floats your boat.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, so pandemic changed a lot of things. And then something else that they talked about in the article, which I thought was interesting and can also relate to LGBTQ people, was the fact that they said, ask yourself if there are any parts of your identity that feel restricted. Dr. Franco said, different people bring out different parts of us. So when you have a larger friend group, you're able to experience different sides of yourself. If you feel like your identity short has
shrunk.
sort of shrunk, or you're not feeling quite like yourself, that might indicate you need different types of friends.
I agree.
A hundred
I
percent.
validate that statement a
Mm-hmm.
100 million times.
Right. Because it's like something about being gay and then being around people who aren't okay with it. You kind of feel weird and you
Hmm.
don't act like yourself.
Hmm.
Or you don't feel comfortable talking about your relationships because they don't get it.
I feel like you spend more time trying to relate to them than
Mm-hmm.
giving that you need to relate to me too.
Right.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
so you really hinder the type of person that you are in your relationships and
Mm-hmm.
all the things that you're feeling, and
Mm-hmm.
you internalize that, and you're like, I'm just here for you,
Mm-hmm.
type friend.
Right.
And I can honestly say that when I was younger, like that's how it was. It's like I had my small friends, which luckily my bestest friend ended up being gay too. So it was just like, all right, I wasn't in that behind the wall where it was like, am I the only one?
Yeah.
But I do think that when you have such a small group, you guys are all in that same mindset of just like what you've believed all this time.
Right.
And then in the last few, like 5 or 6 years, when I think ultimately when I got out of my relationship is when I was like, yeah, like I need to be around more people. Like, I want to know what that's like. I want to know what it is to party like that or live like that or. So I think that's why too is like I know that all my friends have something different to offer that
Right.
brings me to who I am. And I know who I can go to for what and how I can present myself.
Right. I think it's important to have queer friends. Like they just get it. It's hard, but I feel like you need to find that to kind of feel like your feelings are valid, you know?
Yeah. I really hate the fact that not everybody has that opportunity to have that queer relationship or like friendships. Because like you said, it really does like it's essential, it's necessary to which brings me to that Planet Sex thing when Cara Delevingne was like, I always had an idea about myself, but I never thought really anything of it because I was never in those spaces. And then when that first episode when she's like, she went to Pride for the first time and she just saw like
It's
everyone
really,
out and living
bro,
that.
it's really a different world.
It
Like as someone
is.
who came out like older in life, it's such a different vibe. Like I can't describe it to you. Like I feel like being in gay places compared to straight places, like I don't know. Like it's like I can't really describe it, but
Something
it's
about it's just very prideful. I
very
don't want to be
prideful
like,
and just very comfortable
yeah.
and very like nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's something about straight places that I feel like girls are mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is like a mean girl thing. And it's about getting cute pictures and like trying to get like I don't know, like doing the most for Instagram and doing the most for guys. And it's like, no.
Uh,
And
eh,
gay guys are just so funny, like so fun. They just be living their best life. Most of them, not all of them, but yeah.
it's it's like being a child, right? And
Hmm.
going into Toys R Us. Don't act like you don't remember Toys R Us. And going into like the Barbie section, right? Whatever section is your favorite toy or whatever, and you go in there and you're like, "Oh my god, like
Uh-huh.
look at all this like," and then you're just so excited and you're so happy and then you meet another kid who likes the same toys as you. Like it's just
Yeah.
crazy. It's just like just an abundant amount of excitement and love and
Uh-huh.
relation,
Right.
That's what it is for me.
I think it's just a feeling of being included and like
Mhm.
of feeling included.
Yeah.
And there's something about
You're
straight
not
places
different.
where yeah, where it's like you feel different. I mean, more
Mhm.
for like mask people, I feel like for femmes we get away with like it. But at the
Yeah.
same time, you don't know how we're feeling internally,
Right.
you know? Um, but yeah, so why do we think it's like hard to make friends as like adults?
Bruh, let me tell you. If it wasn't for me having my friends prior to like the last couple years or like even this relationship, woo, I'd be a loner. Loner because I just think sometimes I wouldn't say it's just people stop hanging out or whatever, I think it's just life comes into play,
Yeah.
especially the older you get, like you mentioned living in a home or in an
Hmm.
apartment, having these like grown up expenses now. Before I was living at my mom's house, only expenses I had was a little bit of rent money I was throwing her and my car payment, my car insurance and my phone. I
Hmm.
mean, what was that, $500 to $800 a month? I mean, it was still a lot, but ultimately it wasn't like these huge responsibilities. So I was out all the time, hanging out. I had free time all the time, and like now I'm in the house. Like, my expenses have gone up. Us sharing expenses and other things,
Hmm.
and like she said, having two dogs, like, a lot of things take into effect. So it's
Yeah.
like I have to with all these adulting
Mm-hmm.
things, which that's another thing, is making sure your space, your home is
Mm-hmm.
clean, stocked, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Such adulting. Like I just can't because it's like I be telling her every day
It's
we picking
tragic.
dust up off the floor and it's just like what the
All
hell.
the time.
But yeah, it gets a little bit harder to be around your friends because adulting, work. Our work
Mm-hmm.
schedules are oh so different. Everybody works in different environments
Different
and different, yeah,
schedules.
like there's so many different
People work from
things.
home. People work from the
Right.
office. So crazy.
That shit makes a
It
difference.
really does. People have kids.
Yeah, yeah, we have two
Uh-huh.
dogs, but to the people who got kids, woof, then you have to, as a parent, you have to
Tragic.
worry about, childcare if you're not working from home, or,
Yeah.
how old are what's the age range of your kids? Because now they have to go to school. So now you have those hours in between where it's like, while your kid's in school, you're working or you have to do your own personal things.
Uh-huh.
It's just a lot of factors that come in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little stressful.
Yeah.
But I think that those are some of the things that kind of get in the way,
Uh-huh.
stressors, people just when you actually do have the time um to like maybe go see friends or plan something with friends, how often do you take that time and be like, I'm gonna take that time to myself? I would love to hang out with my friends. I would love to have a girls' night or something. But you know what? I just really need to spend time by myself. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I feel like that. I'm like, I want to see my bitches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to see my friends, but I just don't have the energy today. Like, I think I just want to
Right.
stay home. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's times she goes and sees her parents. And I'm just like, I got the house to myself. Honestly, sometimes when she leave, I'll be like, yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go find something to do. Like, I
Uh-huh.
don't know. But there's days where I'm just like, yo, peace. Go to your parents. Take all day. I'm gonna slide around in my socks, butt ass nigga. No, I'm kidding. But I do be just chilling. Um. So yeah, I think that's it's life really. It's not anything personal or saying like I don't want to hang out with you or I don't want to. You're
Mm-hmm.
different. I think that's mostly some
People
of the
would never say
main.
that.
What?
People would never be that honest.
Oh, like I don't want to be friends with you.
Yeah, like they don't do that shit.
You're different. No, you
Never.
got some people.
They just ghost you. Ha!
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. What do you got anything you think that's pretty
I
much
mean, that's
down to the
pretty much
bone?
it, yeah.
Oh, okay. So why do you think people say no new friends? No new friends. No new friends.
I
Or what do you think
hope.
about that whole idea of no new friends?
Um, what do I think about that? I think it's corny. No new friends. I don't like that.
Corny.
No, I don't like that. Sometimes you have to get rid of the old friends to make new friends. I think it's healthy. I think you should have new friends. Like, why not, you know?
I get
If
that.
I have that mentality, then I'm never gonna grow because then I'm always gonna be cool with the same people who have the same ideas. Unless they're
Mm-hmm.
growing and healing, evolving, then okay. But I feel like having new friend groups is healthy.
I was about to say, I think it's cool when you grow up with someone for such a long
Mm-hmm.
time. You're like, we're gonna be besties forever. And some really, friendships usually do last a lifetime. But I think you have to be, you know, in the mind space of like, okay, yes, we could be friends forever, but we also have to be realistic and know that we're going to change over
Right.
time. We're going to separate at the same time because I think when you're younger and you make these friendships like it's easy
It's so easy.
because there's I feel like there's minimal things that you relate to. Like you go to school all the time, you see each other all the time. Oh,
Right.
I like this boy, I like doing that. We play the same sports. Like
Uh-huh.
you relate on
Mm-hmm.
just the simplest things. And I think that as we get older, we just
Mm-hmm.
find our own things that we're interested in,
Right.
and it's okay to have different interests as long as we respect one another's
Right.
interests.
I think it's harder to make friends as adults because I feel like when you're an adult, you have certain standards for the
Mm-hmm.
people that you're cool with, you know?
Yeah.
And I also feel like we're just more intentional and then just like more pickier. Like I feel like when you're in school, you just get cool with everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody who's in your
You want to
class
be the
is
cool cat.
right. It's like anybody who's in your class, like you know their name, you got like you just cool with everybody. But as an adult, you're not gonna go to work and be cool with everybody. Like
Mm-hmm.
not everybody at work is cool.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Like there's so many different age groups at work too. Like it'd be different if you're like all your coworkers were like in your 20s. Then that's different because then it's like okay, we could go out after work and things like that. But I mean, there are some older people at work that you'd be surprised.
I was to say some of the people I'm actually like that I fuck with, that like
Uh-huh.
I'm cool with, are
Yeah.
older people.
Yeah, like I feel like there's some older people that they just be telling you all this tea.
Yeah.
Some,
Yeah.
not all. Some of them be weird.
Yeah. I work with like a lot of older people and I forget that they're that much older than me, like in their 30s, 40s, shit, 50s, 60s. And I'm like,
But I
you
feel
talk
like
like that? You cool like that? I be thinking they're
yeah.
my age.
But at the same time, it's like, would you see yourself going out with them? And like on a personal level, like not work.
Some I do.
Okay. No, but I think you could
No,
learn
I
from
think
you could learn from everybody, you know? But
right.
I do think that work relationships are just tricky.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be too honest sometimes because you
Mm-hmm.
can't trust everybody at work.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, HR is calling you for some shit you told them, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, damn, I can't trust you for shit.
I feel like that depends on what work environment you're in too. I feel like in
Right. They be
corporate
weird.
gives shady.
That's the thing I'm saying. Like, you can't be cool with everybody. Like, if you were that honest
Yeah.
with your coworkers as you are with your friends, you might get in trouble.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
you
That's
really got to
giving
choose carefully when it comes to
shady.
work. But unfortunately, ooh, that is the only place that we always go every single
That's where you
day.
spend most of your time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna click with somebody, but it won't be everybody.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, how do you feel about new friends, old
Just be
friends?
brain.
Any thoughts on that?
I think old friends are cool. It's cool, but if we not growing together and we can't respect each other's growth and journey,
Yeah.
then maybe it is time to let it go.
Yeah.
Maybe it is time.
You ever have friends that act weird when you bring a new friend around?
Yes.
Like it's like you have some friends that are just like, nope. Like I don't want no new people in here type shit. Like don't no. Like they're just very hesitant about new people.
Yeah. I don't think like I'm always trying to bring people in for everybody to be besties. If anything, if I'm introducing anyone new to the crew,
We have.
what do you mean?
We've introduced like new people in our friend groups.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, during social things,
Yeah, things that we're hosting.
I want to, and honestly, it's been hard for me because this is why I feel like I just don't like I be wanting to do things like throw parties and I'm just like the fact that I have to sit here and think about, oh no, they I don't think that they'll like them or I don't think
No.
that that's gonna be cool and it's just
No,
like
that's their
exhausting.
problem.
And it's like I get it, everybody's not gonna be for everybody, but I also think, why be mad with me or feel some type of way as if like, I'm not bringing these people together I don't know. I just feel like
Well, I feel like if you're bringing somebody in, it's for a good reason. You're not gonna bring in a new friend if you don't feel like you vibe with them and your friends wouldn't vibe with them. You get me? Like it's like it has to be someone that you're like, this person's cool. I think they will get along with my friends. I'ma just invite them.
But I also think it depends on the environment as well. Like if it's a big ass social event or something, then yeah, I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be here with my girls. Y'all could come slide through. Like it's not my personal event. It's just an open event that we're going to, and I just happen to mention to people to come through, like we'll be there. The more the merrier type shit. But I think that if it's something personal, maybe or maybe not, I have to really fuck with you if I'm gonna be like, yeah, me and some of the girls are gonna get brunch. I'm not just gonna bring anybody to brunch. Especially because I feel like some of my friends can be tough, so I think it's just like me to an extent where I'm just like, I'm not for everyone. I have friends that are just like, oh yeah, I'm open to meeting anybody type shit. And then there's friends that are just like, yeah, you're not going to withstand me. So it's hard, but I love all my friends. And like I said, I think they all play a part when it comes to me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think they all bring out a certain part of me, and I love and respect them for bringing all aspects and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, energy out of me.
Right.
Because, I think that makes me a wholesome person,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm fun. So,
All right, so I have one last question before we kind of like wrap it up. But what do you think about couples that like don't hang out with their friends without their partner around?
that don't hang out with friends with their partner. Like, your partner has to be around all the
Like your
time.
partner must be there at all times. Like you
Um,
go with them everywhere.
I think it's suffocating. No, I can understand, like, as women, again, with our relationships, I think it's just natural for us to have such a strong bond. It's not like just like, okay, we're in a relationship. Like, I think
Mm-hmm.
we connect and bond on all levels.
Mm-hmm.
So, where I think, like, as a straight couple, not saying you don't bond with your partner, but guys are gonna go do their thing and want to be with their boys. Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll miss their girls. Like, I've seen it. But the girls are gonna do their own thing and,
Uh-huh.
and have their time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as women, we don't separate that because we just, like, our relationship is on a friendship level as well.
Yeah.
Like, we have a strong platonic
Mm-hmm.
vibe as well. But anyway, so I think that it's natural for us, I guess. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's what we do, but I also think we don't realize it's so normal because we do it so much, but I think, like, we don't realize how not so healthy it is. I think
Yeah.
it's okay to want to hang out with your partner and be like, yeah, I want you to be around my
Mm-hmm.
friends and vibe with
Yeah.
them too. But I don't think it's healthy, or I don't want to say it's healthy, but I just feel like, where do
So
you get time to just be with your friends by yourself?
sometimes I just want my friend to myself.
Right.
Like sometimes I just want it to be me and you. I don't want your partner there. Nothing against your partner. I love them, but I want to talk and I want to talk shit and I want to know what's going on with you and your partner. And I want to say things without feeling like they're going to judge me. You know, like there's
Mm-hmm.
personal things that you want to share with your friend that
Because your friend knows you.
yeah, but you don't want to share with their partner.
Mm-hmm.
And I just hate this lack of like there's no boundaries here. Like it's like I'm talking to one person when it's two of y'all. You get me? But it's like I don't want that.
That's that TikTok where they're like, oh, so what's that TikTok when
Mm-hmm.
when they're like, what the fuck are they doing? I forget. And they're like, oh, yeah, your friend's telling you a secret. And
Uh-huh.
then their partner's right there. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you think I'm not going to tell my partner? Like,
Like that's I get it, but sometimes it's like sometimes it's just too much.
yeah.
Like they don't gotta know
I
everything.
can say I'm pretty hesitant when I talk to like certain people, not because, oh, and it has nothing. I love all my friends, and I feel like I trust them enough to tell them
Mhm.
things when I need to.
Mhm.
I don't always discuss my shit,
Mhm.
but I think that that's a me thing because I think, like, that idea of, like, people are gonna make shit up
Yeah.
because they only have my version, and then when
Right.
people make shit up or hear your stories, now
Uh-huh.
they have this idea of your partner. I don't
Right.
like that.
Right. And it's like, okay, if you have a friend who's always with their partner and their partner's always around and then you have to talk about your life and they're there. What if they break up and now this person knows personal things about you?
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
So it's like you never get that deep
Mm-hmm.
because everybody and their mom is here. This is a fucking audience. Like I'm like presenting in front of an audience now. So I do feel like sometimes it could be a bit much.
Yeah. And I, love my friends. I fuck with your partners.
Yeah.
All love here. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do think that sometimes it hinders us from further personalizing our friendships and solidifying our bonds when you can't have your friend to your lonesome sometimes. And I'm not saying it has to be like that all the time, but
Yeah.
again, like you said, sometimes when you are in that time of need, or like
Right.
you just want to really get shit off your chest and talk to your friend like how you used to do.
Right. About like your relationship, but not
Yeah.
talking in a way where you're talking shit, but it's like
No, right.
you're just talking about something,
Yeah.
And it's okay to talk about things.
Because I feel like a lot of people shy away when their partners are around.
Yeah,
Like shy away to an extent, like, where they're not as engaged. They don't engage as much in certain conversation, or they're like, oh no, like, you can't say certain shit because your partner will probably be like, I ain't never heard you say that shit. You know, it's like everything becomes a
Yeah.
like, that's not you
Yeah.
type shit. You know, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like, you know, I'm always down for couple gatherings. But I do think you need your own space and
Mm-hmm.
your own time away from each other. One, so you miss each other. Two, so that way again you have those bonds. You're creating those bonds and
Yeah.
having that space with your friend.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right. So last thing that we want to kind of get into is basically like how do you make gay friends? Like
Other than
how?
work.
Right, like yeah, other than work because sometimes people at work are not it.
Do you feel like, hold on, before you go, do you feel like now all of a sudden that we just come into so many more queer people?
Me and you?
Yeah, like when we're out, like even just not even just befriending, but when we're going out and like, you know, like the plant John we went to today, and it was just like
I,
it's
I,
giving gay, and I
maybe
love
we
it.
are just going to like gay places. I don't
No,
know.
I don't think so. No,
We
we're
went to
not.
like this plant shop. I think the plant shop should be owned by gay people.
I honestly thought it would have been like a woman in there.
No, I was not surprised by seeing these two
I
gay
wasn't
men.
either, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like in my years
Uh
and
huh.
like me being, I feel like I always end up somewhere that represents some type of
Gay.
gay. And I love it.
Maybe everybody's gay. Who
If I'm
knows?
attracting that, yes, give me more.
Right. So how do you find gay places? All right. So I was doing some research because
That's what she does.
that's what I do. And honestly, there are a lot of things out there. So the first thing that I learned about was there's a gay sports team and they have them in a bunch of different cities and they're called Out Loud Sports. So you just Google Out Loud Sports and you can even start your own team. I didn't see one in like Jersey or Philly. So
Shocker.
if you are like into things like that, you can go ahead and join one of these sports league and you don't have to be athletic. You also don't have to be gay, but it is really gay. So just know that. So the other thing I found was I'm gonna talk about things really in Jersey and in Philly because the world is way too big. But I found this page on Instagram. It's called Sip City Mixer. They're in Philly, and then they also have a POC mixer called, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Melamixin, Sip City, whatever. If you type that in into Instagram, I'm gonna spell it out. MELAMIXIN, Sip City. Basically, they have like a bunch of events in Philly where gay people get together and just chill. You know, they be having like different things. There's another one called Philly Gay Girls. And then there's another one in South Jersey called Sip City, South Jersey. And then there's another one.
Yikes.
No, esto va a seguir, vamos a seguir. There's another one in North Jersey called the House of Queers. And they do events in Jersey and in New York. While I was doing this research, I also found out that there's an app called Geneva. That's GENEVA, not sponsored, okay? And apparently that's like a way to just like make more meaningful friendships. It's very like queer based, so go ahead and download that. And then I've heard good things about Bumble BFF. Apparently that's like a thing. Bumble BFF has like a way where you can have like a queer badge on your profile. That way people know that you're there
I did
to
not
make
know that.
friends. You
I did
never heard
not
of
know
it?
that. I've heard of Bumble BFF, but I didn't know it's like, oh, but here's a queer badge.
Apparently
Like,
there's a queer
so you
badge.
know, that's
I have
crazy.
not tested it out,
That's
but
wild.
let me know if it works for y'all. But I'm sure you guys can find other groups like this, like in other cities. You just gotta really do your research on Instagram or go on TikTok. I feel like a TikTok is becoming a better search engine than like
For like
Google.
things, yeah.
Yeah.
But I also feel like people, it should, in certain areas, I'm actually baffled that some people don't take advantage of these queer things that they have around them. Because I feel
Like
like
us,
Cali's all the
like us, because
time.
we haven't been to any of these.
No, but like, first of all, everything's
Well,
in
we
Philly. Nothing's in Jersey.
but we mad close to Philly.
it don't matter that we're mad close to Philly, but who wants to go over the bridge every time?
No, but there's Sip City, South Jersey. So maybe we should check them out. Make some friends.
Yeah, but I think these are like low key things.
Yeah. They're very small. Like, I mean, they don't have that many followers, which is even better.
Well, you got Cali. What is it? Is it Houston that be jumping and like all those other? I don't know.
Yeah,
what other places, but I heard Atlanta
like
be popping.
For the most part, it's like bars and clubs, and not everybody drinks.
That's fine. Yeah, but I think they also in those spaces they host.
Yeah, but then we also gotta think about
not just
we gotta think about the people in the middle.
Anyway, she did all this research on Instagram and TikTok.
Honestly, like look them up.
Always looking through somebody's page. She's sending me somebody new, and I'm
trying to get all the details.
Yeah, so she's stock certified. Yeah,
I just be finding shit.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, if you're in the area, look that up. We'll probably add it to the description or whatever.
Yeah, I can add them for sure.
Word. All right. We getting into this.
All right. Let's get into the family meeting.
So my girlfriend and I work for the same company. She's an HR manager and I'm a supervisor, but we work in different buildings. The issue is that when I am venting to her about work or some gossip, it always turns into an argument because her HR comes out and she's starts getting mad at me and tells me that's wrong. They shouldn't have done that. Wow. God bless. Okay, I'm gonna say that over because I didn't think it was all that.
Correct.
Relax. She starts getting mad at me and tells me that's wrong, that they shouldn't have done that, etc. LOL. But I have to remind her that I am venting to my girlfriend and not HR. LOL. It's not fun anymore. So we agreed to keep work separate unless I legitimately need HR advice. Oy. Yikes. Okay, so I mean, if that's the agreement you came upon, kudos to y'all. But that shit kind of sucks because other than like if you do have like friends at work or like people that you work with that you can like talk to, I think ultimately we still want to come home and talk to our partners because we could really talk shit. You know, I mean, I might talk this shit with my coworker, but just something light because I don't want to be sent to HR. But like if I'm coming home to talk shit to you, like I want to talk the shit. So it's like, if I can't fucking have that moment with you, then that's again where you spend most of your time. So that's gonna be a lot of our conversation. Why the fuck can't I have that conversation with you? Worried about you, like she
gotta take her HR hat off when you get in the door. Take the damn hat off.
For real.
Because I feel like I get both sides, though. Because I've been a supervisor at times. And I was dating somebody or whatever. But it's like, sometimes it would turn into an argument, too. Because it was like, they didn't see where I was coming from. So I get both sides. But I hate the feeling of feeling like your partner is against you. Like, it's like, can you just validate me for 1 second? Just 1 second, So
I do.
Well, you validate me all the time. You know I work with crazy people.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. But yeah, I hear you, man. It's crazy. Just don't talk about it because if it's gonna turn into an argument, then talk to it with your friends. Yeah. Me and my friends be talking on our group chat all the time, just like random shit.
Yeah. And you guys all have different jobs. So I kudos to y'all because nobody would fucking understand my job unless you work with me.
All right, next one. I've been with my girl for 1.5 years. She has a daughter who has ADHD. This wasn't told to me up front, and it has caused some difficulties in the relationship. We're good overall, but the child is an issue due to lack of respect. How do you find a middle ground, or do you walk away? Ooh, this is hard. Do you know of any kids who have ADHD?
I don't know.
No?
I have no idea.
So
I don't think people just go around talking about my kid has ADHD.
They should talk about it though.
I'm not saying they don't, but you also have to think about the people we grew up around too. Yeah. It's like they're not like, oh, something's wrong with my kid. Like Spanish people, growing up, motherfuckers was like, yeah, something wrong with you. They like chill the hell out.
They be hiding it, but I'm not too familiar with it, but from what I know, it's like with ADHD, like the kids cannot sit down. Like they're just like really hyper
Over
and like all
hyper.
over the place, like very disruptive, things like that. I'm gonna talk about my experience with my nephew who has autism, which is like completely different. However, it's like extreme. Like you've
Mhm.
you've seen him. Like he'll just be like sometimes he'll hit people randomly. He's like always like jumping on things, like like he'll say like bad words, not knowing he's saying bad
Yeah.
words. So it's like funny, but you can't laugh because then he's gonna like keep trying to say it. Autism is like it has different ranges, and his is like to the extreme where he can't talk really. Like he'll talk, but he doesn't have full conversations with you like at all. He'll repeat things a lot that you say, and it's an adjustment. Like not to compare with ADHD because obviously the two are completely different,
Mhm.
but it's like it's a big adjustment. I mean, first of all, having a kid, dating someone who has a kid is like, a big responsibility.
Mhm.
And then you add something like ADHD on top of it, it's like, it's a lot. Um,
I think it's rough to date. Or not rough, but it
mhm.
would obviously be a little bit more challenging dating when having a kid because now it's like I feel like there's this thing over them to an extent like they have to disclose everything about their child. Like it's not just like you got to get to know me and I got to tell you the type of person I am, but now I have to disclose to you everything about my child as well, just so you can figure out whether or not you want to be here.
But I feel like that's just like not even, that's like, that should be regular conversation,
Hmm. Yeah,
you know?
I still think that's rough. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I applaud single parents who do
Yeah.
date and have children, and
Mm-hmm.
I applaud the people who,
Mm-hmm.
still date people who have children and don't
Yeah.
have children themselves. But
Right.
I don't know. I don't want to say walk away or only what you want and
Mm-hmm.
the type of relationship that you want to have and the life you want to have, and
Right.
that's either with her and alongside of the kid,
Mm-hmm.
or it's not with them. I just think that if it's really something you want, you're gonna find a way to
Make it work.
make it work.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to keep in mind, and I think it's harder for us to understand as people who don't have
Who
children.
don't have kids and don't know what the ADHD is like. Because
Yeah.
it could be different, but as someone who's also like, I used to babysit kids and things like that, it's a lot of work, especially when they're not your child.
Hmm.
You need to talk, you can't say something that's like out of line.
Hmm.
You can't hit them, obviously, they're not your kid.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you can't grab them a certain, none
Hmm.
of that. Because if you do, you look crazy, and now you putting it, like, it's like, this is a touchy subject, honestly. And I feel like as someone who's not the parent, you're very limited to what you can say, so and how you can like discipline them.
Hmm.
And gentle parenting is already hard enough, and then if the child has ADHD, then it's going to be even harder, you know
You'll.
so I honestly don't know. um
But I also think like even when you think you're on a level with the child,
mhm.
children are constantly changing.
Oh
The
yeah.
older they get, so it's like you're always gonna have to do some type of readjusting.
Right.
So if that's not something
Hmm.
that you want to be a part of or that you want to constantly
Hmm.
be in circle with, then maybe dating
Yeah.
someone with the
Well,
kid might not be for
maybe it
you.
will get better as the child gets older. However, I don't know much about it, but that's just an assumption that I have.
Hmm.
I do know that a lot of people don't like to be on those meds because it just doesn't, then they depend on it, and they don't want the child to have to depend on these drugs. So
Yeah.
they just don't give them anything.
Right.
Um, so yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, I hope it works out,
Yeah.
honestly. This is hard. It's always gonna be hard.
Yeah.
I think that's
Any
it.
last words?
Any last words? We are thinking about doing new merch for the summer. We asked on our Instagram story, but if you guys have any ideas, or if you are like a graphic designer or anything like that,
Hit us
feel
up.
free to hit us up because we're open to that. But let us know what y'all want to see. Like, y'all want to see some dad hats, y'all want to see t-shirts, crop t-shirts. What do you guys want to see? Because we're gonna try to make something happen for the summer too. So
Yep.
yeah.
Hopefully.
And subscribe to us on Patreon if you haven't done so already. You can find the link on our bio where we have monthly Zoom meetings and then we have like weekly vlogs and things like that. So
Yep.
all right. That's all.
Deuce,
Don't
mother
forget to like,
deuce.
share, comment, subscribe.
Good job, babe. Deuce, mother goose.
Bye.